Namaste Bitya. Khusho Bitya. Today we'll be discussing lumbar puncture, which is an important topic of neurology and neurosurgery. So let us start with it. What exactly lumbar puncture is? It is also known as spinal tap, which is a diagnostic and at few times it is therapeutic medical procedure. Diagnostically, it is used to collect cerebrospinal fluid or CSF to confirm or exclude conditions such as meningitis and subarachnoid hemorrhage. And it may also be used in diagnosis of other conditions. Lumbar puncture is performed in lower back in the lumbar region. So what happens exactly in this is that during lumbar puncture, a needle is inserted between two lumbar bones to remove a sample of CSF, the fluid that surrounds your brain and spinal cord to protect them from injury. This lumbar puncture helps to diagnose a series of infections like meningitis, Guebba syndrome, multiple sclerosis, tumors or cancers of brain and spinal cord. Sometimes anesthetic medications or chemotherapy drugs are also injected into the CSF through lumbar puncture. Now are the indications. It is done to collect CSF for lab analysis, measure the pressure of CSF, inject spinal anesthetics, chemotherapy drugs or other medications, inject dye for myelography or radioactive substances to make diagnostic images of the fluid flow. To obtain ACSF for a diagnosis of meningitis, meningoencephalitis, subarachnoid hemorrhage, and malignancy for diagnosis and treatment. So this lumbar puncture helps us to diagnose serious bacterial, fungal, and viral infections, bleeding around the brain, certain cancers, inflammatory conditions. Now there are a few risk factors also while performing or after performing lumbar puncture. A small amount of CSF can leak from the needle insertion site. This can cause headaches after the procedure. If there is a persistent leak, the headache can be severe. There is a slight risk of infection because the needle breaks the skin surface. So that can possibly provide an entry for bacteria. A temporary pain or numbness to the legs or lower back may be experienced, and there is a risk of bleeding in the spinal canal. Now we'll discuss the contraindications. We can't perform it in unstable patients with cardiovascular or respiratory instability, localized skin soft tissue infection of a puncture site, evidence of unstable bleeding disorders. It can't be performed if the person age is above 65, in patients of reduced GCS, if the patient has recent history of seizures or focal neurological signs are present, if the patient has abnormal respiratory patterns, patients of hypertension with bradycardia. So in this, a needle gauge is used and the preparation is done just before lumbar puncture. A brain scan, that is CT or MRI, is done. We will assess the general condition of the patient, check all the lab investigations for procedure to start. So the site for puncture is at L3, L4 or L4, L5. The patient is in flex position, lateral decubitus position. We'll ask the patient to maximally flex the spine without compromising airway. The alignment of feet, knees and hips are maintained. We'll clean the skin with Providone iodine from puncture site. We'll drape below patient and around site with fenestrated drape. Anesthetize with lidocaine. Intradermally raising a wheel at needle insertion site. We should be careful not to inject into a blood vessel or spinal canal. We'll insert the spinal needle with stylet. We'll hold the needle firmly. A pop of certain decrease in resistance indicates that ligamentum, flavum, and dura are punctured. We'll remove the stylet and check for flow of spinal fluid. The jugular vein compression can increase CSF pressure in low flow situations. And if we feel any kind of bony resistance, then we are not in the spinal interspace. And if the bone resistance still felt deeply, then we need to withdraw the needle to the skin surface and redirect more cephalad and increase patient flexion. If bloody fluid that does not clear or that clots results, then we'll withdraw the needle and reattempt at different interspace. So then we'll collect 1 ml of CSF in 3 vials. One can be for culture and gram stain, second for glucose protein, and third for cell count and differential diagnosis. We'll check the pressure also. And once we remove the needle, a small bandage is placed over the hole in the skin. And we'll ask the patient to remain flat on the examination table for around 30 minutes to help prevent any leakage of spinal fluid after the procedure. We'll encourage the patient to drink extra fluid for next 2 to 3 days. The patient may complain of headache. Almost 20% patients complain the same. And this headache occurs upon standing and is relieved by lying down. So this is all in this. I hope you understood this session. And if you have any queries, you can just comment it in the inbox. So, and this is powered by Digital 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University. Thank you.